Hey, son. Good afternoon. Do you want to be a writer who help other kids become kind like you? So, consume content you want to write about. Imagine it's time to write an article right now, but you don't know what topic to write about. So, you're feeling overwhelmed right now, and you decided to scroll on social media to look for ideas. But you end up scrolling for an hour because you were entertained. You forgot about writing, and that's a problem. I mean, a bad habit. But Dad, what should I do? What do you mean consume content I want to write about? That means since you want to help other kids become kind, why not watch parenting video from All Pro Dad YouTube channel? So here's how you do it. You watch one episode and then you take notes while listening, watching, and then write an article, short content about what you've learned about it. And that's how you consume content you want to write about. Parenting content is the best. And that's how you do it. But Dad, sounds great, but sometimes I let my feeling being overwhelmed stops me from writing a content, an article. Yeah. First of all, you are naming what you're feeling, and I'm proud of you for labeling it. And just want to let you know there's no bad emotion. So, what you're feeling right now, feeling confused, overwhelmed, that's okay. You have the permission to feel it. And the right thing to do is to just watch one episode, parenting podcast from Old Pro Dad, and one simple idea is enough. There's nothing to worry about it. One idea, it's enough for me. But Dad, watching parenting podcast plus writing an article about it, it feels a lot of work. It is. And just want to let you know day one of writing and watching parenting podcast, it's gonna be difficult. Beginning is always the hardest part, and that's okay. What you're feeling is discomfort, and that's totally fine. And you can do it, of course. Day one is always the hard part because most of the time the dots are not connected, and you can do it. But Dad, I don't have time. Watching parenting podcast plus writing, I'll do it tomorrow. Schedule it. Watch a parenting podcast. Consume content at 3 p.m. and then write an article or even a short content at 9 a.m. Scheduling is the key. But Dad, what if I'm done watching parenting podcast, but I still don't know what to write? First of all, look at your notes. One idea is enough. One lesson you learned is enough for me. And that's okay. That's fine. But dad, I am not a great writer. Great writers, are always they always know what to write about before they even write. I'm not like them. First of all, that's not true. Great writers, they schedule when to write. They schedule what time to consume content they want to write about. So you can be a great writer when you schedule it and when you write it. When you schedule when to consume parenting content and to write about it, write article about it, you can be a great writer. Here's what happens when you're consuming content. When you're consuming random content instead of writing. First of all, we have the family values, right? Every time you do it, you're violating our family values of intentionality. And then you start to build that habit of time to write an article. I don't know what to write. I feel overwhelmed. So you end up scrolling on the phone looking for the best ideas and then repeat. So if you do that cycle many times each day for a year, you're becoming distracted person because you were thinking, it's so hard, I don't know what to write. It never ends. But you know what the truth is? Scrolling doesn't give you ideas. It gives you more distractions. Yeah, of course, you're making dad feel worried about you, discouraged, and your brother. Since he's learning from your action, he might think, okay, maybe not writing an article, scrolling on the phone instead of writing, maybe that's okay since Emmanuel did it, is doing it. So your brother might become avoidant, meaning I don't want to write, full of excuses. Yeah, sure, your friends, they might perceive you as someone who gives up when things get difficult, and they might think, wow, how demotivating, how uninspiring is that? I mean, we don't want to be someone like Emmanuel who gives up easily, gives up writing. That's the that's what happens when you're scrolling instead of writing an article. But what happens when you are consuming the content you want to write about? Of course, you are practicing our family values of growth mindset. And then you start to build that habit of time to write. I'm going to watch parenting podcasts. I'm going to take down notes. And then I'm going to write our article tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then you repeat. And if you do that many times, you're becoming educated, And because you believe, it's my responsibility to educate myself, to learn. No one else. And you're making dad feel happy, proud, because you are consistent consuming the content you want to write about. And your brother is learning that, oh, I'm gonna watch parenting videos too and write an article about it. Just like what my brother did. And then he might become educated like you. Yes, of course, your friend. They see you as someone who is persistent and someone who doesn't give up, and they might think, wow, how inspiring Emmanuel is. If he can do it, if he can write an article, if he is intentional with consuming content, we can be like our friend. We can be like Emmanuel. Basically, son, you are helping other kids with your contents, with your articles. They need it. Unlike when you are not writing, you are not helping other kids. Now, how would you feel when your dad is not writing an article? He's just scrolling all day. Feel worried, sad about it, and dad feels the same way too every time he sees you scrolling instead of writing an article. But how would you feel when your dad is writing an article, consuming parenting podcast? Proud, yes. And that feels exactly the same about you when you are consuming content you want and writing an article about it. But dad, what if I what if I don't write an article? I mean, what if I didn't write an article before? Instead, I was scrolling the whole time. First of all, thank you for noticing it, own it. And that's okay because before you didn't know it was a bad habit. You didn't know what was the right thing to do. So forgive yourself, it's okay. And remember, maybe you were overwhelmed that time. You were confused, you didn't know what to write about, and that's okay. You didn't know what to do, and that's okay. That's valid. And the best thing to do right now is to forgive yourself, learn from it, apologize to your dad for making him feel worried about you, and apologize for your brother and friends for being a bad example to them. And in case you don't write an article again and you choose to scroll on social media, that's life. That's how life works, and that's okay. But remember, do you want to educate yourself, to be kind, to be respectful, and to help other kids be like you? Yeah. Thank you for saying yes, son. But dad, I've been doing the right thing. I've been writing an article. I've been consuming parenting podcasts. I've been consuming content that I like. Thank you. Thank you for doing the right thing. And I'm proud of you for doing the effort, for doing the work. Co- Consuming parenting podcasts, it takes work. Writing an article, it takes work. And I'm proud of you for doing it. And yeah, I'm proud of you for because you're becoming educated person. Yeah, keep doing it because you are on the right track. Remember, to be disciplined, to be educated, it requires repeated work of consuming parenting content and repeated work of writing an article about it. And you can do it. You got this. I believe in you, and I'm here to guide you all the time. So, since you are now aware that not writing an article, consuming content, random content is a bad habit, and the opposite of it, writing an article about what you've learned, consuming content about consuming content you want to write about is the best thing to do. That's why your challenge today is consume parenting content and write an article about it, or even one idea you learn from it will do. You can do it. Submit your assignment tomorrow. Just kidding. You can do it, son. And that's it. That's our episode for today. And thank you for listening. Quick story. Yesterday, last night, I transferred the branch where the chicken sleeps, and then dad was asking for my help because some chickens were confused where they will sleep, and it made me realize day one is the most it's the most hardest part because it's confusing what you should do unless you have a mentor to guide you. So that helped me realize that day one is always the hardest part, and you just need someone to guide you. That's why I have mentors. That's why I guided the chicken where to sleep. And let's see later day two where they will sleep, and I'll tell you tomorrow, I guess. And that's it for the story of the day. And thank you for listening. Let me close the camera now.